As autumn deepens over Port Charles, golden leaves aren't the only things falling. Secrets slip like whispers, hearts tumble into dangerous territory, and alliances form in the most unexpected places. This week on General Hospital, the stage is set for emotional awakenings, tense reckonings, and the kind of temptation that threatens to undo everything. From Nathan and Lulu's deepening bond to Alexis fighting her inner turmoil, and Luca's caught in a debate that could shape his future. These are the moments that will leave fans breathless. Broken heart Nathan and Lulu connect. The past isn't buried, it's waiting. Nathan West isn't just chasing leads anymore. He's chasing something far more elusive: clarity. With secrets stirring in the shadows of his past, he turns to someone who understands more than she lets on. Lulu Spencer falconry. What begins as a conversation over coffee soon spirals into a connection forged from shared pain and unanswered questions. Lulu, reeling from her own ongoing frustrations with Dante's distance and her inability to shake the feeling that something in her life is missing, finds solace in Nathan's quiet strength. Their scenes together simmer with unspoken emotion, the kind of quiet intimacy that feels dangerous, even if no lines are crossed. Yet, and therein lies the real tension. Will they cross that line? Their bond isn't romantic, not yet. But in the long glances and late-night talks, in the way Lulu touches Nathan's hand just a second too long, there's a flicker of something deeper. Something that could either heal them both or destroy what they thought they knew about loyalty and love. This is more than friendship. It's a mirror held up to their pain, and neither is ready to look away. Fire Alexis tempted, the edge of the abyss. They say temptation wears a familiar face, and for Alexis Davis, that face belongs to Julian Jerome. Though she swears she's done with him, done with danger, deception, and self-destruction, one lingering glance, one unresolved truth, is enough to unravel her carefully rebuilt life. This week, Alexis faces her fiercest opponent yet, her own desire. It begins innocently. A run-in at Kelly's, a drink neither of them meant to share. But Julian still knows her rhythms, her deflections, her longing for control, and he exploits it with effortless charm. She tells herself she's in control, that she's just trying to understand, that she deserves closure. But by midweek, that closure turns into lingering conversations behind closed doors, heated arguments that drift dangerously close to passion, and Alexis finds herself teetering on the brink of a relapse, not into alcohol, but into him, into the version of herself she thought she'd buried. Sam, ever the watchful daughter, sees the cracks forming and tries to pull her mother back. But will Alexis listen in time, or will she fall not with a scream but a sigh? Brain Lucas debate, duty or desire. Lucas Jones has always been a man torn between the heart and the head. This week, his inner conflict explodes into a full-blown crisis when he receives an unexpected offer. A prestigious position at a research hospital out of town. It's the kind of opportunity most doctors dream of, the kind that changes lives. But what about his life? Lucas, who's only just started to reestablish a fragile peace in Port Charles, finds himself debating more than just career choices. This is about family, about Brad, about the possibility of love and fatherhood, about who he is when no one's watching. Enter Felix, who brings levity but also clarity, urging Lucas to think not just about what he should do, but what he wants. And then there's Brad, trying awkwardly and somewhat desperately to insert himself back into Lucas' orbit. Is it too late? By Friday, Lucas is faced with a choice. Does he stay, rooted in the complicated garden of his current life, or leave it all behind for a clean slate? The decision he makes will set off ripples through Port Charles, and not everyone will like the outcome. Magnifying glass tilted left other notable moments. Anna Devane continues her silent investigation into the strange activity at GH. She's not saying much, but her eyes are everywhere. And what she discovers in a hospital file might just connect to a very familiar face from her past. Maxie can't help but notice Nathan's closeness with Lulu, and it doesn't sit well with her. Not because of jealousy, but because she knows that look. The one that says, "I'm drifting." Could Maxie be the one to call out the emotional elephant in the room? Franco, always lurking where he shouldn't be, stumbles across something he wasn't supposed to see, a private document, a paternity test, perhaps. Whatever it is, his expression shifts from curious to deadly serious. Morgan and Kiki find themselves in familiar territory, miscommunication. A well-meaning surprise turns into an argument that reopens old wounds. Can they survive one more test of their fragile relationship? Waxing crescent moon closing thoughts, the calm before the storm. This week in Port Charles, everything is on the verge. Emotions are frayed. Choices loom like storm clouds. And everyone seems to be walking a tightrope between what they want and what they know is right. Nathan and Lulu might just find the kind of comfort that turns into complication. Alexis may be staring into the abyss, with Julian waiting at the bottom. And Lucas has to decide if happiness is something you chase or something you build from the broken pieces. One thing is certain. Secrets don't stay buried in Port Charles. They just wait for the right moment to rise again. High voltage, don't miss next week. Just when you think it's safe, the past returns with a vengeance. New faces arrive, old alliances shatter, and someone very unexpected shows up with a shocking agenda. Stay tuned, the real drama is just beginning.